Hey everybody, this is Miko with the Permit Empire, and I want to thank you for whoever tunes in tonight. I wanted to just do a real quick live, make a quick video about something I've heard a lot about lately, and something I can feel myself too. So, wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, as of late, we have noticed that there may have been a little bit of a slowdown in the economy. Some of the numbers are coming back about the it's hard to find a job right now, all of that stuff. So, with that being said, I see that there's just a lot of talk about that, right? And I wanted to get in there and talk about that a little bit too, because it's a this is the year where we're doing our voting, all of that good stuff, right? So sometimes when that happens, we will see that the economy kind of slows up a little bit. It kind of takes a break a little bit. Hey, Trista, good to see you in here. Hey, Davita, nice to see you. But yeah, we'll notice that the economy sometimes, in an election year, we'll notice that the economy sometimes slows down. It's just the way it goes. It happens all the time. But with that being said, your bills have not slowed down. You still have things that you got to pay for. You have your expenses. You're still operating your business, and you may be looking at it and saying, how can I get some cash? How can I get some money? Right? So with that being said, right, and of course, if you're listening to me, for the most part, I talk about permit running. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Inside of permit running, there's quite a few different avenues in which you can pick up extra cash for your business. Because of course, extra cash is always a good thing. We all need it. I need it. I'm sure you need it too, right? But a good way to do that, right, with permit running, I'm usually talking about the courier service. And that's usually what I'm talking about. So that's getting the permit, taking it to the building department, or even processing it online, right? That's usually what I'm talking about. But inside of that, there are smaller services that you can also provide for a potential client or for your existing client if you're already doing this. There's still smaller services that you can provide for them. A lot of you I know are probably notaries, maybe not, don't know, but in a lot of areas, some of the permits and the documents, they have to be notarized. That is a way for you also to be able to get more money because you're notarizing documents. Your client may need you to meet with their client to sign off on paperwork, to sign off on documents. That's a good way for you to get extra income. Now, not even just with that, right? Because of course, that's the first thing. But right now I have a laptop here going and I have my desktop here going. So I'm looking at both of them. But I'm looking at the City of Pompano Beach's website, right, for permitting. And so they have a list of different applications that are needed to be processed for different services, right? And I'm just scrolling down this list and I'm looking at it. There's alarm registration, there's zoning compliance applications, there's change of engineer architecture, change of primary contractor, so many different things, electric service turn on, lien research requests. There's quite a few different things there that you can do. Now, here's the thing about that. That's also services that you can provide for your clients. I do that as well. I provide different services. Not only do I do the permit running portion, yes, great, got it. But even with that, if my client needs me to do a lien research, right? I have to look up old documents for this project. I actually provide that service for my client. And let me tell you, it's actually something that you can do that's lucrative. It's a way that you can get money right into your account because it's usually quick and it's usually something that's done right online. You don't actually have to go in and do the search, right? So usually, let's say I'm doing this. I am doing documents retrieval services or lien researches. I'm charging like $2.95 for that service. And again, that's something that you don't have to go in person for. That's something you can do right online. A lot of this, you're submitting a request online for that service. And once they process it at the building department, they send it to you digitally. They send it right back into your email. This is another way for you to get income right into your business pretty quickly too, right? And the thing is, what you don't realize is that a lot of contractors, they actually need that. And I don't just do that for contractors. I do that for like property management companies as well. Like I have one property management company and they are always doing research on properties that they're going to take on. They're always doing research and they pay me to just do a quick background search or to look to see if there's any liens on this property, those type of things, and they pay you for that. Sure, we could always say that this is something that they could be doing, but they're not. they're looking for someone to do this for them. And the big property management company that I do this for, they were referred to me by I was referred to them by a contractor that I was doing permits for. So there's quite a few different things that you can do. Like I said, on top of just notarizing documents, you can do the lien searches. You can do the document retrievals. There's quite a few different things. I'm looking down this list, revision submittals. There's quite a few different things. I've actually even done the electricity, got that turned on for a client, right? With the electric service turn on. That's a whole service in itself that you can be providing for your clients. So there's different ways that you can look at this, just like in a lot of businesses. If you break it down and start piecing it out, you'll see that, hey, it's not just this main thing that I can be doing. I can be doing some of those smaller things in the meanwhile to make up for the income that I do need or that I may not be getting. Like I see someone in the comments saying that they're unemployed, Davita. Believe me, that's the thing too. When I first started doing permit running, again, I was an insurance agent and I just was not doing good. I was not making any money. I really wasn't making any money. And I had to do something to get some money in because I still had bills to pay. I was not making money. I am not good at selling insurance. As much as I believe in the product and I need it myself, I'm just not the best at that. That's not my area of expertise. Even though, sure, I had some clients and I was trying to do all that I could do, I wasn't making any money. But when you start looking at the other services that you can provide, you start breaking it down. Hey, you know what? It's not just the permit running portion I could be doing. I could actually be notarizing documents. I could provide the service that I will do inspections. That's another thing I've been noticing a lot of people getting into is trying to do the inspections. And not just, individuals or notaries. I mean, even contractors are getting into the inspections where you will actually go out to a property and wait for an inspector to come out and review the work that has been done. People get paid for that. I had one person tell me that they charge $150 for that service. You just have to wait there for a couple hours until the inspector comes onto the property and they pay you for that. I don't provide that service, but I know other people who do provide that service. And that is a way for you to also make sure that, hey, I still have something going on. Because listen, you do that inspection, they may give you a 2-hour window. They may give you a 4-hour window. You wait. The inspector comes, checks everything out, makes sure everything looks good, and he signs off on it. And that's it. Now it's time for you to get paid for that service that you just provided to your client who wasn't able to be on the job site at that time. So it's not always just looking at that big thing. Sometimes we have to take a step back and look at some of those smaller services that we can be providing in the meanwhile as we build this thing up. Again, like I said, I started off with doing the insurance. It wasn't for me. I wasn't doing so good. But then I realized, okay, let me piece this up a little bit. I started taking on the courier service and I just started building up because I wasn't even a notary first. But then I realized, hey, I become a notary. I can also get money doing that too. And I started building upon that. So yes, sure, the economy is not the best. Again, it's an election year. Sure, it might not be so easy to find a job right now. That might be why you're watching this video, is because you're looking to do something that maybe you can do it from home. Maybe you can do it around your work hours or around your kids' schedule. So you're looking to do maybe permit running. That's why you're looking into doing permit running. It's a good thing to get into. But also don't take your eye off of some of those other smaller things that are in this business that can make up for the income that you really do need. Because when you get out there first, you might not have, all of this money and all the clients and all that. So you might not. I am not the one to tell you that as soon as you jump into the permit running business, you're going to have so much money, you're not going to know what to do with it. That is not me. But what I can tell you is that once you start getting your clients and you start getting good at what you're doing, you start building up on that, you will be able to make money. You won't need a job at that point. You'll be able to do your business full time and make a livable income doing that. And you'll be able to provide and all of that good stuff, right? But in the meanwhile, definitely, if your business is starting to slow down, if you're starting to have some issues with the funds, take a look at, break up the services a little bit. Break up the services a little bit and make sure that you are charging accordingly. That is the other big thing right there, because sometimes we get into that state of, well, I have to get something, I need some money, so I'll take this little bit of $50, and that's all I'll take for this service, when you really should be charging more for that small service. You really should be charging more. Like I said, even with doing inspections, it may be something that's a 2-hour window, but people are charging $150 for their time to wait for that inspector to be on that job site. Whereas some people would say, well, you know what, I'll do it for $50. I'll just, it's nothing, it's not a big deal. No, these are services that you are providing. These are services that you're providing, and you should be paid for those services, right? Atrista, you were an agent too? Yeah, it wasn't for me. It was not for me. But yes, but you should be building up, right? So that you can make sure that you have enough. So I wanted to just jump in here and drop this quick video. I'm not going to keep you too long. I just want to drop this quick video and just kind of encourage you. Make sure that you are doing all that you need to be doing. Make sure that, hey, when you're looking at the services that you could be providing, make sure you're pricing them out right too. Make sure that that's something that you are doing. Make sure that you are engaging with your clients and you're letting them know all of these services that you provide. Take a look at those building department websites. Run down that list of applications that they need and start looking at, hey, wait a minute, I could be getting into, helping my clients with revisions, because now I understand, now I see that this is what's required for that. Or maybe I can be notarizing documents for my clients, because guess what? I see the form and this is what's needed, right? Start looking down this list. I'm just literally looking down this list right now, just taking a look at it. Tree permit application. I did a tree permit application. I don't know if that's something that's needed everywhere, but listen, in South Florida, if you want to plant a tree in your yard, guess what? You need a permit for it. Very interesting, but you need a permit for it. And what I started getting into doing was, even with that, I am not good at art, but what I started doing was making my floor plans, just like I make floor plans basically for the residential homes. Like I can do that, no problem. But what I also started doing was making them for the landscaping, because you need a permit to plant trees. So I started doing that. I charge separately for that. Right? Let's see. Right. I charge separately for those, for getting those documents ready to submit to the building department for that. Let's see, Atrista, you're coming back to the social media world. Oh, you're getting back into permit. Good, Atrista. I'm rooting for you. You have good videos. You have some good videos. I don't know if you remember. I like up all your videos. So yeah, no, get back into it, because here's the thing, right? And I'm also not the person to discourage from, having a job. Not at all. I liked my job. I had an issue at the end. I had to step away from my job because I was like, no, we're not going to be giving me more work without giving me the money to match it. But I liked my job. I had a good job. I liked my job, all of that stuff, right? You're being laid off? Oh my goodness gracious. No, you know what? You really, really dig into your permit management business. Dig into that, Atrista. Like really go into it, because there is a lot of people who need your service. I've said that before, but no, it's facts. I have actually, I had to cut back a little bit, because at one point I stopped making videos because I had got so overwhelmed with the permits, and I kind of cut back how much I was taking on. But there is a lot of clients out there who would definitely need your service. Really dig into it. Your videos are really good, Atrista. I mean, like really good. And I'm glad you got a good, large client. Yes. So no, definitely. Hey, if you are looking to do this type of work, really get into it. Go to the right online. It's right online. Go online, look at the building department's website. Listen, I said I was leaving, but I got to talk about this part. Look at the building department's website, right? Go down this list, look at the building department's website, and start looking at the different things that require permits. You would be surprised surprised. You would be surprised at how many little things you can get involved in to make money when it comes to permit running. You'd be surprised. Again, I was pretty surprised when I was referred to that client, that property management company, who all they want is document retrieval. That's all they want. They just want. I did one permit for them because they were, they got into a permit with someone else, right? With one of their buildings that they were managing, and I did that for them. But for the most part, all I do is document retrieval. The quickest $295 that I have ever made, and I do mean $295. Nope, that's not a lot of money to everybody. I get that. But it's one client who's not even a permit running client, who all I do is simply get the information that they're giving me, and I send over requests to that building department or to that municipality, and they send it back to me. And then I forward it over to that client. That's it. Most of this stuff can be done right online. Most of it can be done right online. If you don't have an office, okay. Do you have a laptop? Do you have a computer? Do you have a internet connection? You got Wi-Fi? What do you have? Because you could literally be doing this at your house. That's literally that's how good this can be for you. So while things are cooling off in the economy, right? That did not mean that companies would not need help. People are laying people off, right? And I see that it's definitely here where I am too. People are laying people off, right? And a lot of times they're either if they're looking to replace you, they'll lay you off and get someone that they can pay a little bit less. Or what they can do is they'll get someone else who's doing it as a contract, who can do it on contract, so that they don't have to pay for the benefits. They don't have to match your taxes. They don't have to pay you 40 hours just because, even though they don't have work. That is what they're doing. So you can take on work like that. Contractors are still looking for people. A lot of times contractors won't take on a person in their office because they don't have an office. Doesn't mean they don't have work. It just means they don't have an office, a physical place for this person to sit. And sometimes it's just easier. I can say for myself too, sometimes it's just easier to take on someone to do contract work. So you don't have to be responsible for taxes, matching taxes, days off, benefits package, all of that stuff, right? Sometimes it's just easier. So with that, like I said, go down these lists, go check out what's going on with your building department. Take a look at that list and see those are the things that you could be advertising services for. You could be advertising your services for these type of projects. Simple. Some of this stuff is simple. Again, I know I'm talking about document retrieval on this one a lot, but you'd be surprised how simple document retrieval is. Even when I used to have to go to the building department to do it, you'd be surprised how simple it actually is. Especially when you have a client, they pay you for it because they need it. A lot of times they'll need it for insurance purposes too. Like my property management company, they have to have these documents for insurance purposes. Insurance companies are very strict about certain things. And when you're talking about buildings that are over 3 stories tall, they want to make sure that you have had your electrical inspections and all of that stuff. So they want to make sure, hey, get those documents that prove such, and get that over to me ASAP. And that's how it is sometimes. Get it to me ASAP. All right. Even when I'm preparing documents. Now, I was talking about how even like, let's say if you want to put a tree in your yard, you have to, get a permit for that. So that has to be a drawing. I'm not even talking about just that. I'm talking about down to the point of, oh, I need to fill out a permit application. I have clients who not fill out a permit application. Not just somebody else do it. I don't have the time to fill out the permit application to have my customers sign it. Filling out the permit application. If you take a look at the permit application on the building department's website, you take a look at it, right? You'll see that it's asking you some basic questions, such as the contractor's information, address, name. Same thing with the homeowner. They're looking for some basic information. You can see that. And sometimes, yes, we are uploading those in a lot of cases because we're submitting it digitally. But however, you still need to fill it out and have your homeowner, your contractor, your client, they still have to sign it physically. In a lot of cases, sign it physically. Sometimes you can can't think of the thing right now, but digitally sign it. Sometimes you can do that. But sometimes they literally need it signed, they need it notarized, and you can do all of that. And they will pay for it. And not think twice about it. Because of course, again, they're adding this to the cost of the project. And in the grand scheme of things, them paying you a few $100s is not that big of a deal when they're looking at this full project and they're looking at all the things that they have to remember to do for this project. They're like, hey, let me give this to you so you can do it. And that's how you can be making money. Again, you got to make sure that you're not just lowballing yourself, but that is a way that you can continue to make money as a permit runner. And even if you don't really want to do the permit running, I heard someone say this before, they don't really want to do the permit running part. Like I said, all of the other things, helping people with their floor plans, document retrieval, filling out the documents, even if you don't want to be the courier, even if in your area you actually have to go to the building department. And let's say you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't have a car or reliable transportation, or I just don't have the time. Let's say that's the case. What about the other things that need to be done for these clients? Lien researches. I have had to process my own share of liens for my clients against their clients. The document needed to be notarized, and I had to I submitted this digitally online. I did not leave from in front of this computer to do it. I had my client sign off on it, and I submitted it. And they paid for that. And they paid almost like they're doing a permit for that. And that's for a lien to be placed against a property for someone who didn't pay that client. They want to ensure that they're going to get their money, so they process a lien against that property. And no, it's not nice. You're like, I don't want to process a lien against someone's property, but how's that contractor going to get paid for his services? So again, like, these are all ways that you can be making money as a permit runner. All of these are ways. I'm going to look at these comments really quick. Davita, you're going to use Canva? I use Canva all the time. That's good stuff. So yes, definitely. Yes, we do love those contractors. Yes. Yes, if you have a home office, you can go ahead and get it started. And Trista, you do online? Yes. Everything I'm doing is online. I no longer go to the building departments because in my area, I think there's a couple building departments that have it to where you have to come in person here now. And it's just literally a couple of them. And I don't do permits in those areas all the time, but it's just a couple that are remaining that don't have any. Yeah, it's just a couple that are remaining that don't have any online presence, because some of them have it where you can come in person or you can do it online. They have that. That's great. So if it's just one of those days where you feel like, oh, I want to get out of here and I want to go out and, you can go in and process that permit in person. But for the most part, everything is online. If you got Canva, then you can go ahead and get your marketing stuff together. And you can go ahead and get those services out there and start promoting yourself to, your ideal clients, right? So yes, we can definitely do that. We don't have to be a victim of kind of what's going on. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I mean that we can be proactive in doing something, because we all have to do it. Like I said, I'm no different than anyone else. I was out there trying to sell insurance and nobody wanted it. I don't think I was doing that good. I had a couple clients and I was not doing that good. I had to come up with a way to make some money, because I didn't feel like, at that point I was like, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to get, I don't want to be on a job. I didn't want to at the time. Again, not that I'm not having a job. I love the comfort of having a job. I do. But when you're not on one, right? When you're in a situation where you're being laid off, or you're in a situation where you're trying to find a job and you can't, but I still need to make some money, guess what? There are people who need services that you provide. If you're doing permit running services or anything affiliated with that, you need to be reaching out to contractors. You need to be reaching out to property managers, project managers. You need to take some time and do those things and start, so you can start getting cash right into your business. Because that's what this is about. We are in business to make money. I do not get up early in the morning so that I can just do this for free and give away my time. That's not it. That would be great, but I still got to pay bills, right? And I'm sure so many of you have to pay bills too. So we have to get up and we have to do what we have to do. But yes, don't. And yes, I know I said I was going, but I'm looking at the comments and I'm still going, right? I'm still talking. Yes. All right. You're in New Jersey. Do I think you can do it there? And you are also a notary. So you're already ahead right there, right? Because you're a notary. But yes, you can. I do know that there are some areas where you have to be certified. Like I know Philadelphia, you have to be certified. But in New Jersey, New York, I don't believe you have to. I don't think you have to be. However, there's so much work up there that's going on that you can be getting involved in if you're already a notary. So that right there alone, you're already getting in on the document portion of it where you can help a contractor out with his documents. If he needs something notarized, you can help with that. You should be advertising your services too. And again, a lot of this is online. A lot of this is online. Yes, jobs do fail so many people. They do. And what happens when you find yourself in a situation where yours is failing you? And that's really what it is. So no, take advantage of it right now. Like I said, a lot of times contractors don't. There are plenty of them that have their staff in-house. Yes, it's true. We get it. But there are enough of them that don't have an in-house staff. There are enough of them who actually work from home themselves, and they're looking for someone to take on contractor positions with them. Because a lot of it, I don't know if you all know, right? But contractors, in a lot of cases, they don't really have many employees. Even the guys who do the installation, the labor, a lot of times they're not their actual employees. A lot of these people, they're 1099ing. They're using them as contractors for the projects. So a lot of them, they may not even have on payroll. And that is what you'd be doing, pretty much the same thing. Yes, yes. No, it's, again, even for me, right? I did insurance, right? And I just did the permitting thing so that I can make up for the income that I wasn't getting as an insurance agent. And it took all the way over. And I was so happy to leave insurance alone for a little bit. I was servicing out my clients, the ones that I still had, but I started to get to a point where me doing permit processing, it just started taking over, and especially because at that time a lot of it was in person. I was doing permits in person in Trista. So yes, no, it's a good thing to get involved in. It really is, and there's so many different ways that you can boost your income by doing this, even if you do it just as a side hustle. Because again, you can do a lot of this from home. A lot of this you can do from home. And especially once you get so familiar with some of your clients, like some of my clients are maybe not in my area, right? I'll do a permit for someone that's just not in my area. I don't see them. A lot of times they see me from social media, and then we'll go from there, right? But you get to a point where you're not even meeting some of your clients in person all of the time. Like, sure, I always tell everyone, like, that first meeting, for the most part, please try to meet them in person, get a feel of who they are. Because hey, listen, here's the thing. You're gonna have to be able to work with this person. So you wanna make sure that you got a feel of who they are, who you're dealing with, all of that. Is this really gonna be a good fit between me and you? Because it's not just one way. It's not just I am just providing them a service and I gotta make sure they're happy. Yeah, sure. I believe in good customer service, absolutely 100%. But this is also not just about you giving me money. I have to be able to work with you. I have to be able, if there's situations that come up, that I have to be able to advise you, and you have to be okay with, having this conversation with me. I can't work with you if you're just kind of like looking down on me. Is that thing. It happens. So that's why I usually advise you, make sure that you do know who you're dealing with. So yeah, sure. But once you get to a certain point with your clients, you may not be going to their office all the time. You may not be, waiting for them to, have documents in person for you, because guess what? A lot of times they'll just email it to you. Some of my clients, again, it goes beyond them. Like, they'll email me the permit and they'll just CC me on the email with the engineer and say, hey, give me the engineering. And that way, that engineer, it'll come right over to me, and then I'll upload those documents as well, like that. Right? So even with that, me dealing with the engineer for a lot of my clients, like I'll deal with the engineer, you can charge for that. You're still you charge for your administrative services. If you have to do administrative services, you should be charging for that. So even though hey, this is an election year, and different things are happening, the economy may be softening around us. We should step in there and take advantage of this time when people will be needing our help. We need to take advantage of this time. We need not to get discouraged during this time. We need to make sure that we're promoting ourselves during this time, touching bases with potential clients during this time. We need to be doing that for ourselves, because even in this time, we could be building our business. Hey, it's good to see you too. I'm sorry, I'm reading the messages. Good to see you in here, Dorsey. I'm so glad to see you. But yes, so this is the time that we do that, right? We don't step back just because it looks kind of daunting out there. Sure, it does. But even in a recession, you can still build your business, because guess what? Even in a recession, people are laying people off, jobs are not hiring, you still got bills, you still got expenses, you still have to eat. Those things don't go away just because you don't have a job. They don't go away. So this is the perfect time that, hey, again, let's make sure that our social media presence is on point. Let's go with that. If you haven't done a website, hey, this is a good time to do so. Are you promoting those services that you can provide? Again, go back to the building department's website and start looking down that list of things that they need applications for. Start looking at the application. Get yourself familiar with it, because hey, this is something that you can even fill out for your client. It's administrative fees that you can charge for this. Start looking at those things, because this will all help your income. Don't just look at it only from a standpoint, oh, I offer this package. No, start breaking it down. If that's what you need to do, start breaking those packages down. Okay, well, I notarize documents. Okay, I also will help fill out these documents for you. These are administrative services. Okay, you need me to process these liens. You need me to process these notice of commencements. You need help with those services? I process tons of notice of commencements, just tons of them. I process, and they're all online. They're all online. At one point, I was going to the building department in West Palm Beach a lot, or the courthouse in West Palm Beach a lot, to process my notice of commencements for that one. Everything, do it online. You can get them certified right online. Do as much as you can. I do tons of notice of commencements. It's a simple document that has to be recorded, and it can be recorded right online. And in some cases, you can get it back in the same day. It's recorded all in the same day, and you charge for that. You still have to go to the clerk's office. We're all online. Everything, all of that is online in this Tri-County area. Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, it's all online. So it's just that easy. Trista, are you using who are you using to process your notice of commencements? Do you have someone? And I mean like a software, because I use a certain software to process notice of commencements, and they have so many counties that you can process it right online. But those are things that we can charge for, right? Whether you're going in person or you're doing it online, you can be charging for those additional services. We have one company in my area, and for the most part, they only do like notice of commencements and liens. Like that's pretty much all they do. And it's business. That's all they do, because you can charge for those things. So break that all the way down. Oh, okay. I use CSC at Trista. You might just check them out and see if they have your county on there, your Hillsborough. Just check them out and see if they got that on there. I don't know, but yeah, I think they do. I don't know. I could be wrong, but yes, but no, for the most part, break those services down. Take a look. What can we be doing? What can we be doing? Break them down to the simple things that you think that nobody cares about. I remember when I first started doing permit running, and people were like, "What?" I had someone who actually like did permit running say to me, or they said they provided that service, and they said to me, "There's no money in that. There's no money in that. What are you doing? This is just, that's a side thing. That literally is a side thing." Until I made it my main thing. It didn't serve me as a side thing, because I took it seriously. and I applied. I went through just like I'm telling you to do. I went through and said, okay, this is what I can do. I might not know everything, but this is what I can do. 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 Until I got to a point where all of this stuff was second nature. And I don't have a problem with saying how much my fees are for these, right? And I don't need to also sell insurance. I can if I want to. I'm not that good, y'all. But I don't need to sell insurance and other things, right? And if I wanted to do that, that stuff would be the side stuff. All right. I know, Davita, you don't have to be certified in North Carolina to do it. No, I think it's more. I think it's more of a Philadelphia thing. But I know in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, like all the South Tennessee, you don't have to be certified to do that. You have to be set up as a business. Like pretty much anything. Get your LLC, do all of that good stuff. But even at the beginning, go ahead and get yourself set up, social media, your website, all of that stuff, and start advertising your services. But you don't have to be like certified, right? Now, I am going much longer than I planned to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, right? And I will do another live, and we'll talk some more about some other things. I want to also thank those of you who have signed up for the boot camp. It's this upcoming Saturday. And no, I have not talked a lot about it because, as I always say, I like to keep it small because I like to have interaction. I like to talk back and forth. As you could probably see from this video, I just like to talk back and forth. But I want to thank those of you who have signed up for this weekend, Saturday. Look forward to chit-chatting with you, going over everything. But again, I'll be doing another live pretty soon, and we'll get into some more stuff. But guys, don't get discouraged because things may not look as good as they looked last year or whatever the case is. Take this opportunity and do something for yourself. Go in here, go down this list, and look at all the services you can provide and start seeing what you can charge for these things. Do that for yourself. Start seeing, hey, I can do this. I know it. I see this permit application. I know what it takes to fill this out. Start doing that, and you'll see. Listen, I'm a product of what I'm telling you because I did the same thing. So you'll see. You'll be able to make a living processing permits, doing the other services that are needed in permit running. Now, if you have any other questions, if you have any other comments, definitely leave them in the comments section. I will try to get back to as many of them as possible. But again, I thank you so much for tuning into this live. And again, I look forward to chit-chatting with you later. All of you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll talk with you soon, okay? Thank you.